In this episode, we finish our computer factory by fully automating the logistics, give it the final and epic cosmetic touch it deserves, tackle the final milestone of Tier 8 as preparation for Update 8, and much more. Yo! Hello everybody! Welcome back to Prone to Play, and my Let's Play series of Satisfactory. In the last episode we started to build a factory for computers in the Blue Crater, and today we are going to continue and hopefully finish this. But first, something very important. Coffee Stain Studios just announced the release date for Update 8 in Experimental, and it will be live on June 13th, 5 PM Central European Summertime. So basically, if you're watching this video as it comes out, it's just next week. And we definitely have some more things to prepare before this, so let's not waste any more time, especially since I realized in the last episode that I talked and prepared and caught you guys up for 15 minutes straight before I had started anything. I apologize for this, I will not do this again. So yeah, much to do before we are finally ready for Update 8. Let's get started, let's head to the Blue Crater and continue our computer factory. Alright, here we are. As you can see, I already tried to experiment a little bit with the cosmetics and try to match the color of the computer. It's still a bit off, but we will work it out eventually. And let's, as intended, do not lose any more time and get started with the automation process. I already experimented a little bit, worked out this platform over here, and we will connect it via an asphalt bridge with this platform over there at our oil plant. And the idea is that on every foundation we set down 2 different truck stations. Dude. Thank you. And one will always handle the incoming items. This one will be handling the incoming plastic, and this one the outgoing computers. And on the other one we will also build 2 truck stations, and it will be vice versa. So let's do a little bridge. That is 2 foundations wide, and we actually have to do some finicky work over here because the height of this platform, which matches exactly the oil plant foundations, and this one over there with the computer factory, they differ in just half a meter. And I actually didn't know how to solve this problem other than you will see in just a minute. Because we will make these 2 foundations meet, and then, yeah, as you can see here, this is just a half foundation off, so it cannot be solved with 1 meter ramps as well. But instead we will simply build just like this half ramp synced into another foundation. And with this we will have clean edges where the trucks, or the truck, as we are currently only planning with 1 going in a loop, will hopefully not struggle at all. And then, as already mentioned, on this side we set up another truck station, maybe. Yeah, this will be directly hooked up to the conveyor belts attached to the ceiling, so there's no point in leaving some space over here. And then another one over here. We will leave this be for the moment, and once we figure out the route for the truck, we will definitely know if we can make this place look a little bit more lean, cut some foundations, but for now this is the plan for the layout. And we do not have to worry about power at all, since we have running power on both structures already. Alright, now the plastic is currently coming up over there and has to be fed in over here. So I do not want to create any backlog right now. So maybe let's work our way backwards for the moment. And we will have to deal with 290 plastic per minute, so Mark III will not be sufficient. Is this... Oh, this can be right on the edge. Very nice. Then let's hop over here. Drag it in a straight line. Over here, maybe. Are we still in a line? Yes. Okay, and once we have our truck up and running, we will connect this. And then we have to set up an outgoing conveyor belt for our computers. Let's actually go with Mark III, even though the output per minute is only 5. Mark II should be fine. Let's do Mark I for now and see how this goes, because I'm thinking about there will be delays. Oh, actually, to be honest, I have never dealt with vehicles in this game until now, only with locomotives. And when the train docks on a train station and a freight platform and loads or unloads, there's a delay because the freight platforms will no longer being filled up or emptied out while the docking process goes on. So I don't know if this is actually the same for the truck stations, and I was worried about having a little delay because of the docking process blocking the input or output, but at the same time I think even if this will take a second, this will not be too much of a difference regarding the output of only 5 per minute. Can we stand on here? I think so. Maybe some. Yeah, alright. Now let's do the Mark I belt over here. Then move around the corner. Maybe over here. And then we actually just have to merge it with the plastic, since the output will be so low. So let's take a merger. Okay, I think it has to hang just in the air. Let's see how this looks. It's almost the right angle. I think it's fine for me for the moment. And then we have to work out also another thing over here, which is the turbo fuel. Because of course our vehicles have to be fueled. And although the demand will only be just a tiny bit, yeah, this is already completely backed up, which is nice. We still have to supply turbo fuel over there, and I think a Mark I will be fine for now as well. This is actually clipping just a tiny bit. Let's see how it looks if we do this. It's fine. So let's do it maybe over here. And let me finish the logistics now that you have an idea of what's happening over here, and I come back to you in a second. Alright, you find me hovering under the second floor of our oil plant because I finally realized that we actually have a hover pack available, and I barely use it, but I think now comes its time to shine. And as you can see, the turbo fuel is currently getting transported all the way up to here and getting fed under the already existing conveyor belts via a lift, is attached on the edges of this pillar construction and eventually getting fed into one of the truck stations. And the outgoing plastic is hooked up to this one here, and it's now actually attached to a smart splitter because I realized the overflow of 30 plastic per minute, which will eventually occur, has to still go to the train station. So now the computer factory has priority, but once there's a backlog, the remaining plastic will overflow to the train station and eventually meet with the incoming computers, because here the line is getting merged again and both will be going into the first freight platform. This is the setup over here, also already hooked up to power. And since it was nighttime and I had to wait until it's bright again, I worked out most of the logistics over here as well. These truck stations have power already. And here I actually thought about what's a good solution in order to bring everything over here. And I went with two conveyor lifts over here, because we still want to match the look of a computer. I thought I want to implement a round hole similar to this cosmetic style of the computers on each side in the dead center. At least in my opinion, it's very dead centered. And yeah, even though it might be a little bit too high, being due to the layout and the logistics floor being on this height, the hole itself is still in the center of the side of the computer building, and I matched it on the other side as well so that I don't forget it in the future. And these have completely run out now of plastic, so let me delete these really quick. And the plastic will go into this conveyor belt again, because this is where the plastic for the computers go. And this should be good enough for the plastic. This is necessary for the circuit boards. And there's actually no need to use a smart splitter in my opinion, because this will balance itself out in the end anyways. Now we only have to deal with the outgoing computers. Let them autosave again. And again, Mark 1 belt should be fine. So let's see. Just a little bit off. Oh yeah, I forgot that I have the hover pack. Maybe here. Yes, this is better. Okay, so let's fix this. Hook it up. And this should lead the conveyor, the computers down here. Now the plastic is coming out of this truck station, so let's hook it up. And the computers will go to this one here. Nice, clean right angles. Alright. this should be everything for the logistics. Oh yeah, by the way, I just mentioned that I can mix and mingle the plastic with the computer on one freight car. But I actually have to adapt the central storage train station then, because currently, because the output of plastic and rubber of this place is so massive up until this point, that I cannot insert it to the storage system or the sorting system, because it would exceed the capacity of our conveyor belts. But now, since we lowered the output of the plastic so drastically and only add another 5 computers, so basically 35 additional items, I will make some changes to the train station and feed the conveyor belts for the plastic and the computer at least. I don't think I can still... I think I still cannot add the rubber to this system, because it's still 320 per minute. But the plastic and the computers will be processed as everything else currently in the central storage very soon. But let's first finish up our logistics over here, because this is now going idle anytime soon. We already have a computer to handle, so where do we start? I've never actually never done this, so let's see if it's sufficient for a U-turn. Yes, it is. Okay, I think we start over here. Record, start recording. So let's see. Now this has to dock over here. Press F. Da, 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 da. Unload. Then go over here. Load. I think this does not take too long, but I fear that we have to extend the foundation over here so that's not falling off. To be very... yes. I think just for the sake of safety I have to extend the foundation or the platform over there. Alright, slow down a little bit. Turn around. Hello. Fits like a glove. Now let's unload this stuff. And it seems like when unloading or docking, if it's even counting as docking, it does not stop the loading process. Good to know. But now it's unloaded. Now we load over here. Wait just a tiny bit. And this should complete. I want to save this one. Computer. Plastic. Save. Alright. I swear, if you break my car, I will break you. Alright, I think this was everything. And it should be completely fueled, because it automatically fuels when it reaches a truck station that provides, or that is able to provide fuel. So, Yeah, let's see. Enable autopilot. It has one computer. Are you kidding me? Well, it is what it is. Ah, yeah, the factory went idle anyways, so that should be the reason. And let's extend this here so that's not falling off. Loading. I think I waited too long over here. Yes, now it's loading. The amount of plastic is low. Maybe in the future I can still optimize this route, but for the moment it's good to know that it's working as intended at least. Alright, so let me extend this one here by one foundation so that we can be sure that the truck does not fall off. And I will add railings and cosmetics also to the mix over here. Alright, there are the computers being produced again. Whoops. Alright. Now I'm curious. Can you do it? Oh, it can actually reverse. Very nice. Okay. What's it waiting for? Huh? Did I disable the autopilot or what's happening here? It's paused? Why is it paused? I don't know what happened there. Wait time 25.5 seconds. Oh, okay, it's just too long maybe. Let's do 15. I see. Huh. Alright. Yeah, but this is basically now our computer fully automated. Okay, I let the truck do a couple of loops now, and it's actually working perfectly for the moment, but the waiting times are way too long because it's running back and forth so fast. The distance is just so short. I only realized in hindsight how little this or each lap is, but again, I already said that is just for fun and I never dealt with vehicles, so now I know this a little bit also. But we still have to take care about the cosmetics of our building, and the first thing that I actually want to do is to add the sides of the computer building, because this is the easier part. We will deal with this at the front side where the stair hall is, because I think this is a little bit more interesting to look than... Do I have a computer with me? I have a ton. I think this will be, yeah, more challenging but also more interesting to look at than this one. So yeah, this will be the idea, but now let me cover the sides with basic walls. By the way, there seems to be a bug with the preset colors, because when you select a color, it will actually, at least for me, pick the one above. I don't know why it does that, but yeah. As you can see, the sides or the metal of the computer, the shell is completely smooth, and the 1 meter walls look way more smooth than the 4 meter ones does, or the 4 meter ones do. So let me cover the sides with 1 meter basic walls really quick. It will take a minute, so yeah, you don't have to watch me doing this for 10 minutes, but I will come back to you once this is finished. Alright, looks pretty good to me. This is now the status of the side, and let's actually try to take a look. Does not really work like I wanted to, but no problem. Now, I tried to copy these stripes on the side of the computer as good as I can. And in order to keep it symmetrical, I painted the first white square on the top and on the bottom, respectively 5 meters tall, and every other square is 6 meters. So basically 6 times basic walls. And I extended the quarter pipes and the inverted quarter pipes over here a little bit outside, so that we have this three-dimensional look, because in the picture of the computer it's also a little bit forwarded to the outside. I covered the foundations, the outer edges, with painted beams, and went also with black painted beams in order to get this rotor look over here. This was the best I could do for now. I will try to experiment in the future to even match this better, but yeah, for now looks pretty good to me. And I also made the orange a little bit darker over here. Oops, getting electricity again. And now it fits the color of a regular computer much better, in my opinion. I did the same on the other side. Whoops. But I have not forwarded the foundations, the pipes, a little bit outside on this side because of the conveyor lifts. Maybe I will work this out in the future, but also this is not that visible because of the logistics anyways. Yeah, but the stripe is matching on this side as well. It's getting dark again, damn, bad timing from my side. We will work the front out very soon. I also tried to get the three-dimensional look over here by using half foundations, because the black surface will be a little bit more on the outside compared to the shell of the computer, and the details I will work out very soon. But first I wanted to give you an update about the trucks. Now you can see I have added a second one, because I actually made a mistake while planning out the logistics over here. Since it's not guaranteed that this first truck is completely emptying out the plastic over here, it had still some remaining plastic sitting inside when picking up more computers. And there was enough room for the computers because the amount of plastic necessary is always higher than the computers output, but over here I cannot, at least I didn't find a way to do this. I cannot tell this truck station to only unload computers, so it will unload just what's inside the truck, and this is why this was basically completely backlogged with plastic instead of simply only unloading the computers. And this is why I had to set up a second bridge for a second truck, and this one now is only handling the plastic, bringing the plastic from over here to the computer factory, and the original first truck is only bringing the computers from the factory to our oil plant. And also split up the turbo fuel input on both truck stations right now, in order to guarantee that both trucks will always be fueled appropriately. This is the current state, and now I have to think about how to deal with the front, because this is the more detailed side, at least in my opinion. And yeah, I will work something out, but I'm already happy with how this place looks right now, and I think we can only make this look better. Okay, I think I am done with the cosmetics for now. Get ready for this. It's so scuffed. Oh man. But I kinda actually like it. As you can see, I tried to fit in as many details as possible. For example, these 4 drawers, let's call it that way, with the little hole underneath, 3 of them, and then the stripes on the right side I simulated with painted beams. The black bars across are actually small billboards here, and over here this roster pattern I mimicked with labeled signs. And oh boy, is this was tedious and it still looks so scuffed. But yeah, maybe I will try to even make this more detailed in the future. Then I integrated 2 of these screws on the top surface of the computer. And I also took care of the backside. And to have the comparison, this is the original, and this is the imposter. Damn it. I tried to match the look as good as I can. But yeah, this is the result. And from a distance, in my opinion, this doesn't look too bad, but then again, this was also very much easier than the front side, in my opinion at least. And of course, I could try to go even further into detail, but for now, I'm happy with this result. So scuffed still. But let's get some distance, because I think you can still recognize what it's supposed to be. Well, looks like more like a Lego brick or something from Minecraft, but another modeling practice. Oh well. At least now I had an excuse to build yet another cube factory, because the computer has this shape himself. Alright, but I have been busy for quite some time now here, and the trucks are running smoothly still. So yeah, the 5 computers per minute automated should be good for now. So let's head back to the central storage. Alright, now that the computers are finally running fully automated, it's time for some updates. I just restocked the heat sinks for our cooling system production in the Blue Crater, and they are currently getting another 2400 cooling systems produced. Where do we have them? We would have them here, but we already processed them further and or stored them somewhere else. We currently also have 640 fused modular frames over here, and they are additionally getting produced in the Blue Crater right at the moment as well. Then I updated our project part room and changed the production over here just a little bit. This one here is currently producing status for the next one, which is finally producing automated wiring again. I was thinking about setting this up manually, or setting this up in the factory, in our steel factory again, to fully automate this, but I wanted to finish the computer factory first, and I didn't want to do something in the background without you knowing. So this is why this is currently still running over here, half automated. Then we have this manufacturer, and this produces radio control unit once again for us. Just restocking the aluminum casing, because now we have something around 750 about around here, and we will get to the production in a second where this is necessary. First, let's finish our tour here. Here we have another manufacturer still dedicated to adaptive control units, but we ran out of automated wiring completely, which is why I wanted to have some produced over there as well in order to slowly continue our progress for the assembly director system. And as you can see, we have now produced over 1000 of the adaptive control units. So we have a little bit over 3400 supercomputers left, because we are also done with the first 551 of our assembly director systems. I converted some of these materials directly into the assembly director systems, so now around 12.5%, a little bit more, are completely finished for completing phase 4, and we are now very much progressing with the production of our computers, our heavy modular frames, which is now both fully automated. This is amazing, this is a big step, and now we only have to worry about circuit boards and automated wiring, while circuit boards being the being less of a head pain, because we can simply switch off the manufacturer in our manufacturing room under the central storage, and then we will produce around 25 or 26 of circuit boards as an excess in our basic refinement, because these are currently directly converted into even more computers, but once we are about to reach this number, we can flip the switch on the manufacturer down under, and then we only store the circuit boards and can directly use them here. So the main concern right now is the automated wiring, and there is an alternate recipe that would make this so much easier, but we don't have access to this yet. So yeah, let's wait for our world tour once update 8 goes live, and then we might have access to this, and this will speed up this final process very much. But for now, this is the way to go with the standard recipe, and we will slowly continuing to produce the adaptive control units in the standard way over here. Next up we have our magnetic field generator, and we are fully done with our electromagnetic control rods over here. And we also produced a little bit more for the last milestone. We have 500-ish rods stored in the central storage, which are only waiting for completing the last milestone for us. And then the third room is now dedicated to our thermal propulsion rocket. And we already set up a modular engine temporary manufacturing very far in the past. So this one was taken care of already. And we already have stored away another 1000 of fused modular frames over here as well, because yeah, the oil plant set up with the nitrogen gas just keeps producing in the background. I'm restocking them every once in a while with aluminum casing. Oh yeah, by the way, the aluminum factory is now a little bit adjusted. I switched the 90 alkyd sheets output into additional 60 aluminum casing. So there's currently getting 120 aluminum casing per minute produced instead of the 60 aluminum casing in the 90 alkyd sheets. And this is because we have 3 industrial storage containers completely backed up with alkyd sheets, and there's just not that big of demand over there right now. But we do have a really big demand of aluminum casings, which is why I decided to change this temporarily. I just set up a second constructor over there for the time being, and once this normalizes and we will need alkyd sheets in the future again, I will flip this back, just so you know what's happening over there. Yeah, and the cooling systems are not stored over here, but we are producing them right away, because the last thing that we need for our thermal propulsion rocket is turbo motors, and we need 1000 of these. And we also need another 100 for completing the last milestone. And these 100 turbo motors are actually the very, very last thing that's standing between us and finishing the last milestone. Can I store some more? Oh, this is slower than I thought, but whatever. So let's head to our manufacturing room really quick. And I did again some preparations. This is still running for heatsinks, now on full, a little bit overclocked already, because now we have an increased output of copper sheets, so this is getting produced even faster. And here is the computer manufacturer again. I was confused there for a second. This one is still producing high-speed connectors, because this is the only source where we are producing them right now, and we completely used them up for our supercomputers, so I am still restocking our central storage with them a little bit, and as soon as we have, I don't know, a few thousand, maybe we will adjust the production over here. But for now, this is running very, very slowly but steady. Yeah, computers here. And here I prepared 2 manufacturers for turbo motors. And you can see I already prepared the containers. We have 4,000 around cooling systems divided over here, motors, rubber, and the last part that's missing over here is radio control units. So let's insert these right away. And on the other side as well. And here we have our first automated turbo motor, because the first few ones that we already used for the miners in the steel factory and in the computer factory, I crafted manually. I apologize for that again, but I didn't want to bother setting up one of these before. But now, since we will need 1100 turbo motors at least, and even more for further productions, let's let these run in the background. And as soon as we have accumulated 100, I think here are only 2, yeah, we will be able to finally complete the last milestone, and then we have unlocked all the milestones up until tier 8 and are done with basically everything that is to be unlocked in update 7. So in my opinion, then update 8 can go live as soon as possible. We are kind of prepared for now. We are producing very many of the different advanced parts that we will need for our big project. And as soon as update 8 goes live and as soon as we are done with our world exploration tour, then we will start an insane project. And I can't wait for this, trust me. I'm very excited. But I won't tell you just yet what it's gonna be. I hope you stick around until the time has come. Yay, another yellow slug. Thank you, thank you. Alright, what next? Actually, I just let some time pass by and let some turbo motors produce in our manufacturing room. And now we actually have everything available, including the 100 turbo motors that is necessary in order to reach the final milestone that is currently available for us in the game. So without further delay, let's simply do this. I think this is a great conclusion of today's episode.
Milestone reached. The particle accelerator enables previously impossible processes, such as recycling nuclear waste and converting it into plutonium, as well as the generation of exotic matter. A new project part enables progress to the next phase.
Yes, and unlocking the particle enrichment milestone gave us access to the last resource that's currently available, or the latest resource, the nitric acid, and also gave us a way to convert uranium waste into non-fissile uranium. And this again can be produced or used to produce plutonium pellets, which is another way of producing energy, but more importantly, this is a way to get rid of uranium waste in the first place. And for this, we can use the particle accelerator. And last but not least, we now have access to the last project part of phase 4. However, this again will take some time. Because not only do we have to take fused modular frames and double the amount of radio control units in order to get pressure conversion cube, we also have to put these together with copper powder, which takes an insane amount of copper ingots, together with pressure conversion cubes in the particle accelerator to get nuclear pasta. This is not too bad actually, now that I'm thinking about it. We simply have to find a way about radio control units getting accessible more easily. Maybe set up multiple manufacturers, but I have to think about this for a little bit. So, hello. In the next episode, we will take care of re-implementing some production streamline processes. For example, I have to re-implement a production site for motors in the steel factory. Here we have dug already half into the motor storage currently, and we are now producing any further. And also some status in general for the high demand of automated wiring. But we will do this together in the future, in the next episode. And also maybe finally tackle some cosmetics for our central storage, because what I haven't shown to you yet is that I hooked up the freight platform where the plastic and the computer is arriving on another conveyor belt, which leads right to the start of our sorting system and basically merges it to the general sorting system that we already have active. And since this railway is so long, we are free to add as many freight platforms as we want in order to include even more parts to the sorting process, as long as the capacity of our Mark V belts can handle this. But I think this is going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching again. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I definitely did, building the computer factory, the cosmetics. And if you have any feedback, feel free to drop it. I'm always appreciating it. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next episode.